spear quivered in Kaladin's fingers, as if begging him to swing it, spin it, dance with it.
What are you planning to do, Lordling? Gonna ram that spear into your own gut?
Kaladin glanced up at the speaker. Moash, still one of Kaladin's biggest detractors, stood near the line of corpses.
How did he know to call me Lordling? Has he been talking to Gaz?
He claims he's a deserter. Says he was some important soldier, a squad leader or the like. But Gaz says that's all stupid boasting. They wouldn't send a man to the bridges if he actually knew how to fight.
Kaladin lowered the spear. Moash smirked, turning back to his work. Others, however, had now noticed Kaladin.
Look at him! Oh, bridge leader! You think that you're grand? That you are better than us? You think pretending that we're your own personal troop of soldiers will change anything?
Leave him alone.
Drehy shoved Sigzil as he passed.
At least he tries.
Earless Jax pulled a boot free from a dead foot.
Yeah. He cares about looking important. Even if he was in the army. I bet he spent his days cleaning out latrines.
It appeared that there was something that would pull the bridgemen out of their silent stupors. Loathing for Kaladin.
He wants to run us ragged on our only free time.
Kaladin closed his eyes, listening to their scorn, rubbing his fingers on the wood.
Never held a spear in my life. Maybe if I'd never picked up that first spear, none of this would have happened.
He felt the smooth wood, slick with rainwater, memories jumbling in his head. Training to forget, training to get vengeance, training to learn and make sense of what had happened. Without thinking about it, he snapped the spear up under his arm into a guard position, point down. Water droplets from its length sprayed across his back. The bridgeman sputtered to a stop. The chasm became quiet, and Kaladin was in another place. He was listening to Tux chide him.
Not good enough.
He was listening to Tien laugh. He was on the battlefield, surrounded by enemies but ringed by friends. He was listening to his father.
Spears are only for killing. You cannot not kill to protect.
He was alone in a chasm deep beneath the earth, holding the spear of a fallen man, fingers gripping the wet wood. Strength surged through him as he spun the spear up into an advanced kata. His body moved of its own accord, going through the forms he'd trained in so frequently. The spear danced in his fingers, comfortable, an extension of himself. He spun with it, swinging it around and around across his neck, over his arm, in and out of jabs and swings. Though it had been months since he'd even held a weapon, his muscles knew what to do. It was as if the spear itself knew what to do. Tension melted away, frustration melted away, and his body sighed in contentment even as he worked it furiously. This was familiar. This was welcome. This was what it had been created to do. Men had always told Kaladin that he fought like nobody else. He'd felt it on the first day he picked up a quarterstaff, though Tuck's advice had helped him refine and channel what he could do. Kaladin had cared when he fought. He'd never fought empty or cold. He fought to keep his men alive. Of all the recruits in his cohort, he had learned the quickest how to hold the spear, how to stand to spar. He'd done it almost without instruction. That had shocked Tux. But why should it have? You were not shocked when a child knew how to breathe. You were not shocked when a sky eel took flight for the first time. You should not be shocked when you hand Kaladin Stormblessed a spear and he knows how to use it. Kaladin spun through the last motions of the kata, chasm forgotten, bridgemen forgotten, fatigue forgotten. For a moment, it was just him and the wind. He snapped the spear back into place, holding the haft at the 1/4 position, spearhead down, bottom of the haft tucked underneath his arm, end rising back behind his head.
Oh, how I've missed that.
He opened his eyes. Sputtering torchlight revealed a group of stunned bridgemen standing in a damp corridor of stone, the walls wet and reflecting the light. Moash dropped a handful of spheres in stunned silence, staring at Kaladin with mouth agape. None of the bridgemen noticed. They just stared at Kaladin, who was still in a battle stance, half crouched, trails of sweat running down the sides of his face. He blinked, realizing what he'd done. If word got back to Gaz that he was playing around with spears, Kaladin stood up straight and dropped the spear into the pile of weapons.
Sorry. Back to work!